Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look at a scenario in which Slovenia forms an empire in 2025. And well, the first thing they do is, invade Croatia, because why wouldn't you? Slovenia is great. And why do they invade Croatia? Well, because if they want to form an empire, they need a bit more coastline, and Croatia is basically the coastline hog of Europe. Not as bad as Chile for South America, but same thing basically. And they quickly encircle Zagreb and take the capital of Croatia. Quickly, Slovenia seizes all the coast. And in the north, they continue their march in, quickly overwhelming what's left and taking a victory. Yes, they got a victory. The victory they've dreamed of. And well, they annexed most of Croatia. But don't worry, Everett. Croatia still exists. Just a tiny bit of coast. I'm sure Bosnia wouldn't hesitate to take that over. But they won't be. You know why? Because Slovenia also despises Bosnia. They need more land. They don't just want to look like Greater Croatia, do they? No, so they invade Bosnia as they move into northern Bosnia. And well, they quickly launch a siege of the capital, Sarajevo, and they capture it. And then they push down and take the tiny coast, like the 500 meters or whatever it is. And well, Bosnia collapses. And in the peace treaty, a lot of land is annexed. Quite a bit. Well, mostly the northern areas. Which, I mean, I think that's a good border. At least Bosnia still exists. Everett likes Bosnia, I guess. Bosnia is Everett's favorite country, maybe. No, Slovenia is. Well, it's probably Finland. Probably, because Finland's pretty cool. They're like the best European country, probably. And well, maybe not the best, but they're basically. And now let's invade Serbia. Because, well, everybody knows eventually you have to invade Serbia. And this is revenge for the Yugoslav wars, definitely. And Serbia, shocked by this, pushes the forces back in the north. But they accidentally advanced too far there, which led to a massive encirclement, capturing 100,000 troops. Yes. And there was only 300,000 put out. So basically, Belgrade falls. And Serbia's like, well, there's nothing we can do anymore. And they give up. As let's draw the borders along them. Yes, we're going to move them down to the south a bit. Over back, and then towards Romania. But not towards Romania, like towards the border. And well, I mean, Serbia kind of has a bit better borders, but also looks like occupied Serbia in World War II. It's maybe not the best borders. But the nation of Italy gets enraged at them. Why would Italy want Slovenia strong? Well, they wouldn't, because they would probably take that small strip of land over there from Italy. But let's be honest, that should be part of Slovenia. It just should be. And maybe we can give them Crimea while we're at it. And also, maybe they can have Cyprus. Yeah, they can have Cyprus too. And they can have the Essequibo region of Guyana. And yeah, let's go to this and see what Italy does. Does enough with rambling about random stuff, and more with Italy going mad. And they take the coast. And they claim it's their right to reform the Roman Empire. Okay, maybe we should question this, Italy, but not yet. As they move into the Bosnian-held lands, they even take the capital of Slovenia, as Slovenia starts falling. And everyone's like, oh no, it's the end of Slovenia. And Slovenia comes back with a massive counter-offensive as they start pushing Italian forces with a quick 2 spearheads. Yes, they managed to encircle some forces. And then they move up over here and they take over Trieste. And they encircle 100,000 troops. Not 100,000, that's erratic. 20,000 troops. And then they move up to here. Most of the troops escape with them encircling 2,000 forces. And then Italy gets pushed back. And with this is a Slovenian invasion of Italy. And Slovenia quickly crosses the border. And they quickly move in and take Venice. And then they launch a spearhead here. But they quickly start moving more forces to the region. So then they get encircled. And they cut across Italy. At this point, they start moving south towards Rome. As they go around San Marino, the country, and then they launch a spearhead here. As some forces laying down here, with these two force groups connecting. And the moving north to avoid a cutoff. Well, the forces start moving towards Rome from the east. And while they start moving from the north and on it, as in the south, they push right up to it, and at this point, the Battle of Rome breaks out with fall of Rome. And well, they don't give up right away. But at this point, they're like, yeah, surrender is probably our best idea. So let's see the peace treaty towards Austria and Hungary, saying they're imperialists still, which isn't right, but who cares? They can invade them. As Slovenia decides to invade them together to show off their strength. And quickly they make the worst border that could have been created. As they quickly make yes, you heard that right, the Slavic corridor. Yes, that's the first thing they do. As they launch a full-on invasion along the coast. Not coasts, the borders. And they move towards Budapest, but then they decide to move out away from it a bit, as the capture of it isn't going very well. And then they push towards the city. As they come in from the south, and they come in over in this direction, quickly connecting it. And they quickly manage to encircle Budapest, and after this, Budapest falls. With that, the fall of Hungary happens. So from the south, they do this, they cut off Tyrol. And then they move in towards Vienna, and they quickly manage to capture it, and then they cut across the coast. And well, Austria falls. Now for another peace treaty. Hands of both nations, and they annex half of what would be the corridor, because I decided that'd be too much border gore. And well, it looks like Greater Slovenia has been formed. And well, that's all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, and on to like, subscribe. Bye, guys. Why she subscribes? We get to 3,500 subscribers by September 30th.